Hey everybody, Byrd here with VIEWDIA. Check us out at VIEWDIA.com. Today we're going to go over a little bit of a high-level overview of how to get started in e-commerce. So first, let's say e-commerce over the last 10 years has been exploding. Now more than ever, it's easier to sell products online. It's easier for manufacturers to put their products online and create their own selling channels. Because of the continued evolution of the internet, the speed of the internet, the advancement in mobile technology, it is becoming more and more second nature for people to shop online. In 2018, in the United States, e-commerce was more than $504 billion. That's projected to grow to over $700 billion by 2022. That's according to Statista.com. Another major piece of information here is that e-commerce is still only 9.6% of all retail sales in the United States. And online shopping is only growing, so you can only see how e-commerce is such a large opportunity now more than ever. There are three scenarios to consider in e-commerce, and two of which are most applicable in this video. The first scenario is you don't have a business yet, you have an idea or a concept, and you want to get going in e-commerce. The second is you have a business established, brick and mortar, or you're manufacturing, but you're not selling things online. And the third scenario, which we get into in other videos down the road, is that you have an e-commerce company, but you're stagnant in your growth, or you're just not doing much with it. So let's get started. There are 5 basic things you need to do to get started in e-commerce. And I'll go over those real quick in this slide. The first one is to choose a product or a category. Maybe it's a Bluetooth speaker. A Bluetooth speaker would be an entire category, or you could do a category as in speakers. The second is to get a business plan in place. Not something too elaborate, but get something in place. The third is to pick a business name and think strategically about this when you do it. Number 4, set goals. They will change as time goes on and as you progress, but set goals now. And the 5th is to pick an e-commerce platform. This is kind of like picking a bicycle if you're into mountain biking or biking, right? There's so many different options out there, and you can modify each bike for the rider. So e-commerce platforms are kind of like that. There's e-commerce platforms for all types of different sellers online, and then you can modify them from there. So those are the 5 basic things to get started in e-commerce. We'll dive into those a little bit more in detail right now. The first is to pick a product or a category. Remember this phrase: passion drives motivation. Motivation, passion, vision, and discipline are a winning mix. So find a product that you are passionate about. Research the product, research the category, and look into the competition. See who's out there doing it, succeeding in it and failing in it. A couple of good resources for you are Statista.com and Oberlo.com. The next topic. This was number 2. Create a business plan. We've got a template for this on VIEWDIA.com the website, under the tools section in the footer of the website. There are 7 major points to this. We'll start at the top. First is the executive summary. Give yourself a summary of what it is that you're looking to do with your business. Number 2 is a business description, where you get a little bit more into the detail of how you're going to operate. Third is a market analysis. So going back to the researching of a product, do that for the larger portion of the business plan. Research the market and think about how you're going to grow within that market. Number 4 is an organizational management chart. It doesn't have to be too elaborate, anything too intense. A lot of times people are just starting e-commerce businesses themselves, which is pretty simple, but just define the roles. So if you have a person that's in charge of more of the sales side of things, define that. If somebody's more in charge of the operations and logistics, supply chain, define that. Let's see here, 5 are the sales tactics. Are you focused on just digital selling, right? Are you going to be selling socially, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, those kinds of things? Do you have B2B sales? Do you have people cold calling? Is this a product where you're going to need person-to-person in-face sales? Number 6 is funding. Think about how you're going to get funding to scale your business. So put that in your business plan. And last but not least, financial projections. Don't leave this one out. Think about this if you are an outside investor that might be interested in investing in this business. What do the financials look like? What are the projections for 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months? The third part here is naming your business. This should be fun, right? There's a lot to it. Make sure you put some thought into it. Don't just whimsically come up with a name or a title for your business, but definitely have some fun with it. Whiteboard it, draw it, get some people to help you out with it. There are different approaches, and I'll just really quickly touch on those. One, if you think about brands like Nike and Pepsi, Coca-Cola, those things aren't descriptive of the product. They've developed a brand around who they are. So that's one way. Another way is creating a name that has SEO or keyword value. So that's the first part. Second part of naming your business is making it legal. And this is where I would say just file a DBA, if anything, doing business as. It's usually a $10 fee in the United States. Or you can make it an LLC, or the next level would be a corporation, but make it legal. That way you have the name at least on kind of a foundational level. And then don't forget the domain name. Check out the domain name, make sure it's available, or some variation of your company name is available in the form of a domain name before you decide to proceed with that name. All right, the 6th portion of this, getting started in e-commerce, is setting goals. So this is where we're going to use the SMART goals concept: strategic, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time sensitive. Number 1, real quickly, strategic. This helps you accomplish specific milestones. Those are strategic goals. Number 2 is measurable. The goals must be measurable. You have to be able to quantify your goals in order for them to really be goals and measure them. Number 3 is attainable. Don't say, I want to be the next Jeff Bezos and next Amazon, right? That might be a real long-term goal, but that's not really attainable. It might be attainable, don't let me put you down, but make sure that it is attainable in the short term or the now. Relevant. Make sure that your goals align with your brand. That is part of the relevancy of the SMART goals. And last are time sensitive. Time sensitive goals are centered around accountability, and accountability gets things done. So those are the 5 parts of SMART goals. So set your goals and stick to them. Lastly, we have picking an e-commerce platform. This can be a daunting task, but all the way back to the beginning, where I was talking about the bicycle, right? Picking a bike and all of the different components that go into a bike and how you can modify it to fit the rider. Same goes for an e-commerce platform. There are a couple of things that I'll touch on real quick to consider. That's ease of use of the platform. How easy is it for you to update, blog, add products? There's the self-hosted versus managed. If you have questions about that, you can email us or get in touch with us. There are, the availability of integrations or connections within that platform. Can you connect to QuickBooks or, FreshBooks, accounting programs, things like that. Next, is there an easy checkout process to it? I would consider, staying on your website. Some of the PayPal checkouts or third-party checkout systems that are out there kind of bounces you off to another site and then brings you back. You'll probably lose conversions in your cart. So stick into the platform. Check out the checkout process within the e-commerce platform. And then last, and probably most important, is it scalable? Is the solution scalable? Does it allow you to grow as your business and as your products grow? So that's all I have for now. Getting started in e-commerce. This was intended to be a quick high-level overview. Check out VIEWDIA.com, email us with questions, and good luck to you.